Premier Night TV Live. Good evening, everybody. Hope you're doing fantastically well. The weekend is well and truly underway in the Premier League. We're going to go through all of the permutations where Manchester United can finish up when we beat Leicester tomorrow. I'm getting ahead of myself. Of course I am. Of course we need to beat Leicester first, but we'll look at how everything is working out in the table. First of all, though, we're talking Ruben Amorim. Yes, that man again. He is Manchester United head coach, and he starts his job in 2 days' time at Manchester United. One last game against Braga, but he has been talking in the press conference ahead of that game and has started to open up on Manchester United. His last press conference, we had Ruud's yesterday, we've had Ruben's today, the double R in fact, and it just confirms and just sort of finishes off this interim period now this weekend. Everybody can then settle down and get tucked into Ruben time at Manchester United, and we are looking ahead to what he has said from this press conference and what we can expect to happen transfer-wise with Manchester United. We touched on the possibility of finding a bargain transfer striker in January. January, according to Ruben Amorim, looks like it's being cancelled out, though, going off these quotes. We'll go through them. We'll get your opinions in the live chat on them. And, of course, make sure that you do give your comments in the comment section after the live is finished as well. Straight after we've finished our show on United, we're going to jump across onto Big Up and do the watch-along for Liverpool versus Villa as well, just to have a bit of a get-together for a Saturday evening. I've not been with you for it seems like a couple of days now, a couple of morning live shows, so I thought we'd do a bonanza of a live evening on Saturday ahead of the game tomorrow. So you've got plenty of me. I hope you can join us as well for the watch along later. Get your comments in, get any questions in as well on anything United related in either show. But let's get into the news first of all and start this evening off with what is happening with Manchester United transfer wise going forward. What can we expect? What has Ruben Amorim been saying and opening up on? Well, it's quite straightforward, to be honest, with what he's saying, and really it's all down in terms of questioning and what he's preparing himself for, because he has got into the actual British media as well and what he's expecting from his first interview, whether he'll be able to handle the British media, if he can handle actually going to press conferences week in, week out and dealing with the questions that are coming his way. There's lots. And he says, Ruben Amorim, on whether he's ready for his first news conference in English. A joke, obviously, from Gary Cottrell from the old Can You Just Answer in English. Just breaking news quickly, by the way. Brighton have equalised against City. We're actually having a little bit of a mini watch-along. I just caught a glimpse of my screen right there. Brighton have equalised. It's fantastic news again. Every time I mention or even look at a screen with City on it at the moment, they're conceding goals. And it's just a glorious thing as well. It is a glorious thing. Let me just see who got this goal here. Oh, it's a bit of a mad scramble. But with 12 minutes to go, City have just conceded. It's Brighton 1, City 1. Things you love to see. Anyway, back on to more important matters, which is Manchester United, and that is Ruben Amorim. In terms of, is he ready for his first British or English press conference? Gary Cottrell has been joking around about how he has to answer in English instead of Portuguese. You've seen the whole circus that's been going on over the last couple of weeks. He's had to deal with a lot. To be honest, I don't even have to hear what he actually said when it came to can he handle his first one, because it seems like he's been having them every single week since we announced it so far. So, yeah, in his 4 press conferences in the games that he's had to cover, he's done quite well, I feel, and he's handled everything perfectly. But he says on that one, I'm ready. I'll have to choose my words carefully. Manchester United is still the most talked about club, but I'm not worried either. And that's come from quite a few different sources on the internet this afternoon. And do you know what? I think he already knows what he's in for. We've talked about this aplenty, haven't we, in terms of Ruben Amorim and what he can expect from the British media. Constant questions about transfers, because that's what comes up next, and that's really where we're going with the show at the start here. And I want to get your thoughts on this, but Ruben Amorim on signings, Fabrizio Romano has tweeted this out earlier on as well. Signing players from Sporting in particular, that question was asked. Kind of an awkward position to be in when you're actually sat in a Sporting press conference and being asked about the players at this club leaving for a club that you're going to. So awkward situation, awkward scenario to deal with in terms of, like I said, being in Portugal, being in Lisbon there, and obviously their media being there as well. But he answered it again the best way he probably could. Not in January, and we've heard that before. That's what I said before. He also said that and alluded to that. I don't know about the summer. The first thing is to hold out until the summer, and then he laughed. The Sporting players are very good players. We'll see. So, not ruling out going for any Sporting players, just ruling out going for Sporting players in January. I think that's the key thing to take from that press conference and his reaction to that today. I feel like he is just protecting himself there from dropping himself right and well and truly in it with the Portuguese media. One more game, of course, a big one against Braga, which obviously is his former club as well. So yeah, it's a situation where you'd expect these questions to come for him. I think they're going to continue as he gets into England. They're going to continue being asked as we go forward into his first press conference. I don't even know. I've not heard anything regarding him having a press conference when he's announced or announced to the British media. I feel like he is in a... I don't know, actually. I feel like it's going to be... They've got to do a press conference to announce him, surely. I would have thought, say, Monday, Tuesday, that there's a big announcement from the club, like a press conference is held. I've not heard anything yet, whether that's going to happen. Maybe we'll find out after his games this weekend. Maybe after that Braga game, we'll find out if he is coming across to England and he's having a press conference. We will see either way. But yeah, the questions are going to continue to be asked. And obviously there's been news about Victor Gyökeres as well. Diamande is another centre-back that Manchester United would be interested in. Quenda, the young 17-year-old wing-back, is being monitored by Manchester United again. And it's been a bit of a whirlwind 2 weeks for him in terms of dealing with everything going over. But it does now feel like after this weekend is done, after this weekend has finished with all of the football, including Man United's game tomorrow, that we are going to be able to move forward and him just be dealing with Manchester United matters. It feels now like this is it. Hang on a minute. Brighton are in. Oh my God. Brighton have scored again. All of a sudden, it's 2-1 to Brighton. We're having a mini watch-along while we're here. I teach you things you love to see, people. I just turned it on. I told you, every time I turn the screen on with City at the moment, they're conceding goals. It looks like 4 defeats in a row for Pep Guardiola's City. He's sat back down in his chair. Salty Pep is back. Oh, take a big gulp of that water, my friend. It is 2-1 to Brighton. Oh, dear, oh, dear. Let me just watch this back a second. Man, like City just want to steal the headlines. He's onside. He breaks in. It's a fantastic finish. I think that's O'Reilly who scored there as well. He's only just been brought on the pitch as well. I think he's had 9 minutes in a Brighton shirt all season, and he's just scored with 7 minutes to go. Oh, it's epic. It's epic. It's like Amorim's already into Pep's head. That demolition at weekend, he's just stuck there with him. And City are capitulating every 2 minutes at the moment. Oh, it's glorious. It is absolutely glorious. And I'm sure Ruben Amorim will be watching on and looking at these teams at the top half of Manchester United, of the Premier League table, and thinking, you know what, if I can get this team moving, there are plenty of teams in and around that are taking points off each other. Look, we're about to do a watch-along after this show for Liverpool against Aston Villa. Make sure you join us for that one. The link is in the live chat now. We're going over to Big Up to watch that. But we're going to be doing a watch-along for the Villa and Liverpool game. And it's going to be one of these seasons, I think. It's going to be one of them where you know that everyone can beat everyone. I mean, City have just been beaten back-to-back in the Premier League. They've been beaten by 3 Premier League teams. Obviously, Spurs in the Carabao Cup. Then, obviously, they got beat by Bournemouth at weekend, beaten by Sporting. And then tonight, it looks like they're going to lose to Brighton as well as it is at the moment. Only just over 5 minutes to go in that one. It's really, as you look at it right now, open for anyone to make a move. Arsenal play Chelsea tomorrow, and there's more points being dropped there from 1 or 2, and no one's really running away with it. You've got your top 2 right now, but... Even City right now, like looking at this, like they're being dragged into it. I mean, you only have to look at the league table. In fact, I'm just going to have a quick nosy on at the Premier League table right now. And like you look at City there, as it is, 23 points, played 11. Like Forest are only 4 points behind Man City with a game in hand. It's just completely opened up. Liverpool can actually open up a 5-point gap after tonight. It's crazy as it seems. So United can move forward. United can actually get get up that table right now with a couple of wins and actually be in and amongst it. Like we said, like December is going to be a tough month for United, but if Brighton can beat the likes of City, if Bournemouth can beat City, then Manchester United and these big games coming up, we can also do it. We've got Arsenal, we've got Liverpool, we've got Spurs and City all coming up away from home. We're going to have to start winning some big games. And I think this is where Amorim is going to come into it and just say, look, what have you got? This is going to be the test of form. This is going to be where he finds out what his team has really got at Manchester United. These games coming up in his first 2 months will tell him exactly what he needs to know, I feel. And then, like we said, we'll know exactly what players we need to bring in. Look, United need to bring in a striker. We know this. He's not going to go for Gyökeres in January. We know he's not going to go for anyone from Sporting in January. Whether or not we buy, like we did this morning with Moani coming in as a possible loan, there may be a loan striker come through. We've done it before. We know we can do it again. Would not put it past Manchester United to get a deal done like that. But realistically, he said, we need to hang on. We need to hold tight to the summer. He understands that Manchester United could bring players in as an emergency in January, I feel, with this. But this goes to show, I feel, like he's already looking at the situation with Manchester United. He's already looking at where this team is right now and what he needs. Can we get up that table? Can this team win the Europa League and get back into the Champions League this season? Yes, we can. 100% we can. And Ruben Amorim, I think he's looking at that. Let's not go and blow any of our budget in January, and let's get the best players we possibly can. Let's wait, because then he knows he probably could go out and get a Gyökeres in the summer. And there is a agreement, I think, of around 60 million for Gyökeres to leave this year, which is this transfer window coming, 2025. I feel like after that, from what's been said, it's going to be a lot more. It's going to be like his market value, which is around about 80 million with the way he's going at the moment. He's leading goal scorer in Europe right now. And you cannot put a price on that. And I think that's what Amorim is alluding to in his conferences, and what he's actually saying is that, look, you could find a striker. You might find someone that works and gets us over the line maybe and gets us up that table in January. But realistically, the bigger picture and the whole outlook for Manchester United revolves around the players we need to look at, get rid of in this next 6 months, and then the players we need to bring in. We need a Gyökeres into this side. He is the one striker. He has to be top target. Look, his agent has even come out and said that Gyökeres moved to Sporting simply because of Ruben Amorim. There is an affection there. There is an understanding there. And obviously, he likes to work under him. Let's be honest. He is the one that's got the best out of him. And if any striker worth his weight in gold wants to look at his situation realistically and say, where can I work best? It's with a coach that has actually got the most out of him already. And if that coach is available and wants you at a bigger club, then you're going to make that move, aren't you? That's where you're sort of going to levitate to. So realistically, United are in prime position to take Gyökeres, and I feel like we have got a perfect opportunity with Ruben Amorim coming in right now. We need to save whatever we can. Don't waste any money in January. It is going to be a lot of pressure on Ruben Amorim. It's going to be a high intensity. Scrutinization is going to be up there with the absolute with the highest it's ever been, let's just say, because United are bottom half of the table. We know we need to climb. We know we need to get points together. What can Ruben Amorim do? He's coming in with this immaculate reputation, and we know what Manchester United do to managers. Everybody's going to be waiting for his fall. The media are going to be waiting to cut him down when needed, and when we lose, that is. And we will lose games in the next few months. We are going to lose quite a few games. It's how this team actually responds to what he wants to do on the pitch. And you know what? I think with what Ten Hag did, it's sort of been a blessing in disguise for Ruben Amorim, because he can only work with what he's got. He can only work with the squad that he's got right now, and starting so low, the only way is up, as they say, don't they? So realistically, we can win the Europa League. I still believe that top four is on. I think we can get there. It sounds crazy, and a lot of people keep on shooting me down, and it's quite right, because obviously we are miles away. But still, like I said, City are losing to Brighton. Spurs are losing, inconsistent. Newcastle inconsistent. Chelsea, we don't know. They were crap against us. Whether or not they'll show themselves against Arsenal tomorrow, I don't know. But everybody is beating everybody. If someone can get something going or have a little bit of a run, you can skyrocket up that league table. You really can. And I feel like this is what Amorim will be looking at right now. Has this team got it in them to go on a little bit of a run that can get us through to the top half of the table, maybe into the Europa League as a safeguarding? And has this team got enough to beat everyone that's in that Europa League right now? 100% yes, we have. And that needs to be the target. Ruud has done his bit. He got that win that we needed against PAOK on Thursday. And Manchester United now are positioned nicely to get to that automatic promotion. Where the hell did 9 minutes come from? Seriously? 9 minutes of added on time for Man City? Is it only City that gets this sort of added on time? Like, honestly, it's a joke. It really is. Don't forget, we are jumping across for the Liverpool and Villa game as well after this show. We've got plenty more to talk about yet regarding United, but we are looking at that game as well. Because everything... Oh, phone's just gone wide there. Never mind. Carry on. 1 minute gone of extra of injury time. Keep ticking away, please. Let's just see how close that was. Keep Reddit covered. No worries, no dramas. But this is what I keep saying. Like, if you are just joining us now, I'm sort of skirting in between watching City have a meltdown and talking about Ruben Amorim and what he said in his press conference. And then after that, we're going to go to the Liverpool and Villa game as well. So, yep, stay with us all the way through. Get your comments coming in. I'm going to come to the comments section in a moment. But, yeah, just to round up the Ruben Amorim sort of press conference and chat and everything that's actually been said there. It's sensible comments, sensible responses to certain questions. I think he's ready for the British media now. I think he's had enough of it this week already without even being in England. I think he'll obviously know how powerful the British media are and how big Manchester United are. He's alluded to that already. And I feel like he is going to be battle-hardened, I think, going into these press conferences that are coming up. We still don't know if he is going to have one on Monday or Tuesday as like a welcome to Manchester United announcement. I don't know if the club feel like they need to do that. But, hey, it's up to them, and either way, I don't think we're bothered. We just want to see him on that training ground working with this team and somehow getting the best out of him or getting more out of them. Anthony Wisdom has dropped a membership into the chat, and that's been taken by Tom, who drops loads of memberships himself all the time as well. So absolutely brilliant how that's turned around there. Thank you for that, Anthony. And welcome to the Members Club again, Tom, you legend. Are you at the game tomorrow, mate? Hopefully you are, and I can say hello to another member. He's always been a member anyway, but still. It's nice to see members and subscribers at Old Trafford. So, yes, we will be there tomorrow. I think it may be a long time before the first loss after Erik ten Hag. I hope so, Liv. I really do. I hope you're right in that confidence there. Let's see, Kaz says, for those on the poll saying how to click the pinned link in the chat. Right, yes. So, if you are looking to join us on Big Up, that's our watch-along platform. There is in the live chat, scroll right to the top. You'll see a pinned link there in a comment. Click on that. It's completely free. I'll just take you straight across, and you'll see my watch-along set up there for Liverpool versus Villa, where we're going to be doing plenty more talking about Manchester United as well as watching them in that game. But yeah, it is kind of difficult to concentrate on Manchester United matters now when I'm just got in the corner of my eye City having a meltdown and losing yet again with 5 minutes of added time left to go as I make it right now. We're well and truly into the 94th minute now, so that is good. Sorry, into the 95th minute. City piling on the pressure, but holding firm is Brighton right now. It's all good. It's all good. Hello, everyone who is just joining us in the chat. Can see Modern Samurai's in there as well. Babs is in there. Please lose, City. Please lose. It will just set it up nicely. Do you know what? If you're Arsenal right now and you're worried about your form, you're looking at City and going, okay, they've really let us off the hook here. For Arsenal and City to be in the form that they are after everything that's gone on last season, the last 2 years of pretty much dominance for both of them sides, it's a bit strange for everyone to sort of get a hold of, I feel. And I am looking at that going, yeah, you know what? I think everyone's looking at the opportunities there. It's no surprise. Like we said, like with Nottingham Forest where they are in the league, like third, they could be within, a point of Manchester City if they win their game against Newcastle tomorrow. That is crazy. Oh, God, that was close. A header there for Manchester City. I think it was Guardiola coming in late. Yep, it was. Into the 96th minute now, though. Time is ticking. Less than 3 minutes for Manchester City to salvage it. Are they going to do it? I feel like their luck is finally running out, City's. I think it is running out. But yeah, I mean, it's all right laughing at City. It's all right having a bit of a laugh at them having a meltdown. 4 defeats in a row. That would be amazing. But we're here for Man United, of course. And obviously, we need to be getting our own ship in order. And our own ship definitely needs a win against Leicester tomorrow. Massive game for a lot of these United players to actually stand up and say, right, it's time. New manager, new coach coming in. And it's now time to actually knuckle down and show him what we're actually made of, and let's get going. Ineos, let's bring Gyökeres to Manchester United in January, says Amir. Philip says, hi Adam, do we know for certain Ruud is leaving? If so, surely Amorim wants him gone before arriving. I don't know, he says Van Nistelrooy is expecting a conversation with Ruben Amorim. He has said that. But from all accounts from the media and the way everyone's talking, we may see a bit of a farewell tomorrow from Ruud van Nistelrooy, which is going to be interesting. And I think it will be. They've asked if it's going to be emotional to him. We covered the press conference yesterday. Obviously, tomorrow morning when we are live, we're going to get the embargoed version of that press conference and see if anything else comes out from that. So all them quotes are going to be with us tomorrow. But what we are looking at there is, when answering questions about his future and his last game as interim manager, he said he's looking at it in a pragmatic way. He has to. He doesn't think it's going to be emotional. It might be. If he is thinking it's going to be emotional, that kind of tells us everything that we need to know, that it isn't really going to be it's not going to be a sort of he stays at Manchester United scenario. It looks like he's going to be leaving. And I can't see why he would speak this way. But you don't know. He maybe just he may be deflecting us a little bit away from what is about to happen. I still don't believe that there has been no conversation between Amorim and Ruud van Nistelrooy. He is there in his hot seat, in that job right now. There has to have been some form of conversation going on. United have been trying to play free at the back against PAOK in spells on Thursday. We all seen it. I don't know if Amorim's having any influence at all right now on proceedings and what's happening on the pitch, but still, like the way that Van Nistelrooy is talking, I can't believe that he hasn't had a conversation. I can't believe that any of the staff haven't been informed by the club what is going on. Like Rennie Harker is gone, 100%. The goalkeeper coach gone. I think set piece coach gone. And ultimately, I feel like it's going to be Ruud van Nistelrooy as well. You cannot bring in 5 members of staff and then be keeping Manchester United staff on board. That you cannot take that risk when you're under so much pressure, I don't think. But look, I've said all along, if Ruud stays, he stays. I'm not particularly concerned if he does. But if he... Hang on a minute. Clear it. It's De Bruyne. Oh, that's a good cross. And that's well defended. Headed back in. Collected by the keeper. And that's 20 seconds left of injury time. Haaland's losing the plot. Someone hit this absolute clown in the face. You sore-ass loser. Move this absolute muppet away. What an absolute idiot. There is one bitter City player right there. You know what Kaz was talking earlier on? She went out this morning as I was watching Alfie's game for FC United in the Cup. And she went out into Monton and she's seen a lot of City fans waiting outside a pub to be collected to go all the way down to Brighton. Good journey home, Blues. That is a bit of a journey, that one. God, I've done it a few times. It is painful. Yes, you can drink your own bitter tears as you drive home. I'm sure there'll be some bittersweet pep music on the radio, bitching and complaining about injuries as well. Well, you're the one who had 2 centre-backs sat on the bench and you played your kids again, mate. So, yeah, more fill you, Pep. And come on, ref, blow this whistle, please. Again, City getting longer than what they should. We're now 10 minutes in and the whistle has gone. City have been defeated again. Oh, it's a glorious picture. It really is. Come on. Woo! Amir says, give Ruud last dance with a beautiful win tomorrow, 100%. Leaf says, in 3-4-3, I would choose Rashford, Bruno, Ahmad as the front three. Rashford still slightly ahead of Garnacho. I would put Garnacho there. I would put Ahmad there, to be honest. I would play Ahmad, Højlund and Bruno. That would be my pick. I think it's time Garnacho and Rashford battled it out for the other place. I do believe that Bruno will thrive more in this system than both Garnacho and Rashford would. And Ahmad, I think, is showing qualities that no one else in that front line is showing right now. He would be my pick. That's how I would do it. I look at it and I say, look, everyone is probably going to get a chance in this next 6 months. Every single player in that squad, they're all going to have to give everything that they've got. They're going to have to prove to this manager that they have got what it takes to play in a new system. Like when we did this show with Flex the other day, we were literally talking about what Amorim has to do next and what he can implement straight away. And Flex fully believes, and I thought, you know, in a way I'm sort of agreeing. I don't want these players to actually get a second chance. I don't. A third chance, a fourth, a fifth chance for some of these players with another system being destroyed because they cannot do it. This has to be the manager that sits in that dugout and tells these players, you will play this way, otherwise you're out of the door. How many times have I said that over the last few weeks? This has to be the one. Because everybody that's been here forever and a day, all of these players, and we all know who they are, they've all seen manager after manager after manager off in not acting the right way. I do believe that Ten Hag was the maker of his own downfall this time. I don't go completely in on the players on this one. I do think he has misprofiled a lot of them and played them out of position. Clearly, we've seen that over the last few weeks in some of the decisions that he's made, and that's why he's ended up going. But there is still now a time for Ineos to actually prove themselves to all United fans and back this manager like they have with Ten Hag at the start of this summer and going into this season and say, look, right, who doesn't work? Who doesn't fit this system? Forget about what's gone on before, the debates, whether it was the manager's fault, whether it's the player's fault. Forget all of that. What you need to do right now is just concentrate from where we go now. So on Monday, when Amorim walks through the door, you've got all of that squad lined up, because there's going to be a lot of them there because they've been that crap. They've not made their international teams, or some are injured or resting. And he's going to be lining them all up when everyone comes back from international duty. This season starts now for us under Amorim ball. We cannot think about the first month, 2 months of the season now. We have to look at this and go, this is where we start. How many wins are we going to get from this point forward now? How many wins can we get going into the back end of the season, into the Europa League? Can we win this trophy? This is what needs to be discussed right now. This is everything that needs to be going on in this football club once Amorim takes charge next week. And if they don't turn up, if they don't perform, then it's out you go time. See you later. No thank you. If you are just joining us as well, you might have been watching that City game. We are live now. Then we are going to be doing a watch along for the Liverpool against Aston Villa game. That is going to be over on Big Up. The link is in the live chat right now, or top in the description as well. So make sure you tune into that as well. We've got a bit to go here on this show as well. We're talking about what Ruben Amorim said in the press conferences before his last game for Sporting against Braga. Asked if he was ready for his first British media press conference. More than ready. I think totally has. He's shown himself. He's shown everybody this week how he can handle the British media. Gary Cottrell from Sky and all of that. And talking about transfers and players like Gyökeres. He's not going to get any player from Sporting in January. He's reiterated that. He's already said that already in previous press conferences anyway. So he's not going to be getting any Sporting players come January. He's not even going to be forced or rushed into making any decisions on that. He is going to be waiting it out. He wants Manchester United to wait until the summer. He wants United to wait and save what we've got until he's seen all of this squad. We've heard reports come out about him getting a chance to see everybody. This is why Maguire has come out and said he feels he can get a new contract. This is why no one's making a move in January or wants to make a move. They all want to see what it's like under this new manager. But it really doesn't matter, is what we're saying as a fan base. All we want to see is Ineos act on the players that we know are not working. It's like, honestly, there's so many players over this last 4 games that just haven't even been asked or even gone up to a different level for Ruud van Nistelrooy. We all know who them players are. We all know the ones that are struggling. right now. We all know the ones that are not fitting in, that are seeing their asses because they're not getting game time. And there are players that are knuckling down and really trying to prove a point. And I hate the thought of saying that Victor Lindelof is still at this football club performing for United, but I didn't think he had a bad game for United against PAOK on Thursday. And you all know my feelings about Victor Lindelof. I don't rate the guy at all. I don't think he should still be at United. And he's one of them players that has been here way too long. So him out of the door. Obviously, you all know my opinions on Marcus Rashford. Dare I say any more? I want him gone. I want players like Casemiro decision being made on. Harry Maguire, Johnny Evans, we need to move past them. Luke Shaw, what we're going to do with him. There's lots of questions about lots of players at Manchester United that need to be moved on. And I feel like we are going to get down to some serious business in the summer. But I think it all needs to be off the back of what Ruben Amorim has created now in this next 6 months at Manchester United. I think it'll be a tough period for him because these players really have shown what they're worth. Are they just going to all of a sudden just start turning up because a new manager's here? It'll be strange. And a lot of players will then start slagging the players off because of what happened with Ten Hag. It's the debate that's always going to continue going on. You all know my opinions. I do think that Ten Hag was definitely misprofiling these players and misusing these players for me. I think he was a big part of the problem, as well as the players too. We've been talking about Van Nistelrooy, whether he stays. There's been a massive debate within the fan base, actually, about Ruud leaving Manchester United and just cutting all ties. Like, is it a problem if you've got a manager there or a coaching staff member there? And I've said this, and I've thought about this a lot because I've said I'm not bothered about Ruud staying. I've said it in this show as well, actually. And I've said, like, it shouldn't be a problem. As long as Ruud van Nistelrooy is willing to step aside and help the best way he can. He's also come out and said, look, I would like to manage Manchester United now in the future in a press conference yesterday, in fact. And I feel like that is something that Ruben Amorim will be thinking about now. There's a man there in my coaching staff that will take my job if I lose it. Do I want that guy there? Do I know that these players are looking at Ruud van Nistelrooy in a way where they trust in him more than they trust me? Are they going to go to him if they've got a problem instead of going to me? Do I need that issue here right now? And you start to think about all of these things. And like when I've said Ruud van Nistelrooy should stay, he can help out, he can be that link to the players, he understands United. They're all the plus points. But sometimes you can be blinded by your opinion and what you feel is right because you're a United fan. And you know that Ruud's a legend at the club. But I'm not wanting to see people lose their jobs. For God's sake, no. But when it comes to a football club, when it comes to your team, all you want is a team of coaches and a support team there that's going to get the best out of these players. Would it be better with just Amorim and his staff and the players and him and everyone at Carrington having a fresh start with no one knowing anything? Or do these players need to be outed by other members of staff like Van Nistelrooy and giving Ruben Amorim a heads up as to who is worth it and who isn't? That's what I think is the bigger debate right now in terms of how he gets the best out of these players. Ruud can help in a way, but he can also be a hindrance because the players will just revert back to type, won't they? And go, I don't like this. I don't like it. Let's go speak to Ruud. You know what I mean? He understands me more. I was playing for him before this manager came in and now I'm not playing. Well, no, you're not playing because you don't suit the system and you've got to change and you don't like it. Because you've had it so comfortable and so easy for so long that you just don't like the change. Ineos have changed everything else now. It's done. All we've got left is a few players that have just been lingering around this football club forever and a day, failing. Year on, year out. Year in, year out, sorry. And that's what needs to change. Super chat in from You Got Raws. Thank you, mate. Lindelof's time is almost up. Not even an injury. An injury can get in the way of his contract coming up. No, it can't. You Got Raws. It has finally caught up with him, hasn't it? Victor Lindelof is leaving Manchester United in the summer. It is all set and done. He is not going to be one of them players that is going to get a second chance. a third chance, a fourth. In his case, he is definitely leaving. It's the Martial factor, isn't it? That's how I look at it. People would say, why are you bringing Martial back into this? Because there was a player there that wasn't misprofiled. He was the right type of player, but he didn't have the right mentality. He wasn't recruited properly. Manchester United blew a big chunk of budget on a player that wasn't fully ready. He had a good couple of seasons at United, but then he kept getting new contracts, and he's just been at the club forever, it seems. Absolutely forever. And finally, when the contract runs out and United can't get any money for him, he goes. Lindelof will be exactly the same. Harry Maguire, exactly the same. This is where you hold Scott McTominay up with credit and actually say, you know what, the club need to sell me. I'm not going to stand in the way. As long as I've got a club that I know is going to fit my life and where I want to go, I'm going to go with that. And you know what? For all the hate that Scott McTominay got, he stands head and shoulders above most of these players in this current squad right now for the way he conducted himself in the summer for me. And the players that are hanging around, they're the ones that you need to be looking at. They're the ones that are stealing a living at Manchester United. And you can say they put all their effort in and they're trying and everything like that. But at the end of the day, the fact that this old regime has kept these players on these stupid contracts tells you everything you need to know. And it just makes you think twice about it again, doesn't it? Because everything that I've just said there then all comes down to not being the player's fault, because they're the ones that have been given the contract. They're not going to say no. We're not going to say no if someone gives us more money in the same job, are we? Oh, no, sorry, I think I might actually play better football over there, so I'm going to go over there and play for 70 grand less a week than I would here right now. Oh, what's that you offering me? I'm not going to get into this side right now. I can't see any way of making it in this team, but you're going to give me another 50 grand a week for another 5 years. Oh, yeah, you know what? I think I have got the quality to stay here at United. I think if these are the standards and they're actually going to give me more money, then I must be doing something right. I actually must be playing well because they want to pay me more. So this is the standard of this football club. Until that is eradicated and then players are out of this football club, we're not going to get to that Premier League and Champions League level that Ineos want to get to. We can win the Europa League. We can get top 4, 100%. But that is it. And where do we draw the line when it comes to standards? Is that where we want to be? Do we want to be that just qualifying for the Champions League? It's the next stepping stone for us, and we'd all be delighted with it this season. I think it's great. But you have to look past that, because all these players will do is just accept that that is the top level and we won't move on past it. These players will max out. Their ceiling is top 4. Maximum ceiling is top 4. You're going to have to add things in. The structure will take you so far. The new coaches will take you even further. But to get that ultimate perfect recipe to make the perfect pie, you need the right ingredients and the tools. And the players are that. And this club, they are not the right ones. I've got to get through a couple more super chats. I'm going to come right into the chat to get all of your input. You got Rawls with a super chat. Thank you, buddy. All the credit to Ruud for getting us as many points as he can in his tenure. The only way he stays is if Amorim wants him to, and sees a role for him. If Amorim does not see that, he has to move on. 100%. Mojo with another super chat. Thank you, mate. The speed with which Amorim was announced tells me that our players need to pull up their socks, because they will now get found out big time and will be shown the door in equal speed. Yes, there was a great piece, I can't remember where it was, I was reading it earlier on, around Amorim actually and what is expected of him. Of the players, that is, on the training ground. You will have to work twice as hard as what? Oh, actually, no, I remember where it was now. It was a comment that Kaz showed me from mine and Flex's video. And a sporting fan over there had seen our video and commented on it. So you go and look at the comments there on that video. And they were saying, look, what we're going to expect, what to expect from Amorim, and what the players are going to have to do. Otherwise, they're going to be out. So if he has agreed to terms to come in now in Ineos's hour of need, he has obviously agreed to terms of a certain amount of power within Manchester United. And that power will be getting rid of certain players, I feel. And I think that is the most important thing, If you don't train a certain way, it doesn't matter of your status at the club, don't matter if you're a superstar, you will not make it into that side. We'll see if this comes through, but apparently coming from the sporting side of things, this is what has been said, and this is what Amorim is like, and this is how he works going forward. So, realistically, what can we expect at United? Is it going to be the same? No. Will there hopefully be an element of that drill sergeant, strict disciplinarian type of manager with these players? We hope so. But honestly, let's just see how he settles in. And if the same players keep on playing again, then it will be time. Then it will be time to actually start worrying. Then it will be time for us all to start panicking. And I feel like that's going to be the turning point there. And we can look at it as a positive if it happens and the players start being dropped, and certain players that we expect to play just because we got used to it are not. And then we can start looking forward. If we are seeing the likes of Amma play more games, or a player comes into the side, plays well and stays in the side, then that's when we can start getting confident as well and start looking at everything as a real change of the guard at United. And that fresh turning of the page that we all hoped we was going to see, I think that's important in everything going forward now for Manchester United. And Amorim has talked the talk. He will walk the walk tonight against Braga, and that game will be done. And then it's all over to Monday. United will play tomorrow, obviously, and we'll talk about that a little bit more in the morning and look ahead to the game with full match day content set out for you tomorrow. So make sure that you have subscribed to Forever United TV. Make sure that you have subscribed with the bell notification on. Give this video a like. Thank you, mods and members, everybody in the chat who has been helping out as well. Absolutely love it. Check out the other content on your screen right now. Get ready for tomorrow. Right now, we're flying across to Big Up. The link is in the live chat now. Click on that and join us for the watch-along between Liverpool and Aston Villa. We're going over there right now. Cheers, everybody. I'll see you back here on YouTube tomorrow. But more importantly, let's get over to Big Up and start the watch-along for our Liverpool